All right, everyone, it's Misty here at This Family Life, and I'm coming at you with another daily reminder that to head on over to the new channel, which is Dinner on a Dime. I will have a link posted in the description box of this video and any of the other videos telling you about the change, as well as it is posted in the community tab in the discussion for the channel. So one thing I didn't mention, so for the few of you that have headed over there and already joined, great, thank you so much. I am so excited to get the new channel kicked off soon. But what I wanted to say is that make sure when you go and subscribe to the channel, so if you've already done it, just go back and do this, hit the notification bell so you make sure that you get those, because that is part of the problem that a lot of people are experiencing right now, is that YouTube is no longer putting your videos in your feed that you're subscribed to unless you have the notification bell on. They will pick and choose which ones they show you, and they will also fill your it used to be like a favorites, right? So you would see all of your favorites, but now they will just put in similar content of channels that they want you to go check out, but not actually the content that you wanted necessarily, that you subscribed for. So make sure you go in, make sure you subscribe to the new channel, and make sure you turn that notification bell on. And so if you haven't done that, you won't have to resubscribe. Just head over there and make sure you've turned that notification bell on. That way you won't miss anything. So tonight, I thought while I was doing these updates, I could also just bring you a quick grocery tip every day. Why not, right? I mean, that's kind of what this is all about. So tonight I made a new recipe that was Chipotle maple chicken. And so it sounded really good. And got ready to make it, started pulling out everything, and realized that this recipe called for orange juice. I did not have any orange juice. So I had to make a decision in one of three ways. Either I could just leave the orange juice out altogether, I could put in Sunny Delight, which we did happen to have some of in the fridge, but wasn't quite sure how that would turn out. Or I could put in orange marmalade. Marmalade? I think it's marmalade, right? That I had bought a long time ago for a recipe and never used. So it's just been hanging out in the pantry. And so again, I was like, I don't know how that's going to turn out. So the recipe's got like pure maple syrup in it, and apricot preserves, and balsamic vinegar, and soy sauce, and all this stuff, all these herbs. It's smelling really good. So I had to decide, what am I going to do about this orange? So this is one of the things that I like to talk about that is a really good grocery tip, is learning what substitutions you can get away with, and learning when you can just leave an ingredient out of a meal altogether. So being that it was the first time I'd ever made it, I kind of wanted to have something in it. And so I decided to go with the orange marmalade because I had it and I've never used it. And so I thought, this is as good a time as any, right? And so that's what I did. And it wasn't just a little bit, it was like a fourth a cup, I think, of it that I put in. But anyways, so went ahead and made this marinade for this chicken. It smelled really good. Marinated the chicken for a couple hours this afternoon while we went to karate and everything, then came home. Normally the recipe calls to grill it. I didn't want to grill tonight, so I just cooked it in the oven until it reached 165 degrees internal temperature, and it was really good. I fixed just mac and cheese and green beans to go with it tonight. Just wanted something quick and easy after a long day. And so it was really good. I would describe it as sweet and spicy. Now, my family is very hit and miss. There's some doggies out barking tonight. Very hit and miss with foods that are either sweet and spicy combo or that are sweet and sour combo. Not their favorites. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. So Amber liked it okay. My husband, Jason, he ate it. He did say it wasn't his favorite and that he would not recommend putting it in rotation. I ate it, but to me, the orange flavor of it was a little overpowering. Like, to me, it almost tasted kind of like a strange orange chicken. I guess is how I would describe it. So I'm not sure that was my favorite, but my son loved it. And that's what was funny to me, because he's normally the most finicky eater in the house. And so while everybody ate, you know, their three, I cut it up kind of like chicken strips, to be honest. Like, I didn't fillet the chicken breast or anything. I did it like chicken strips. And so I did that, and each of us had 3 to 4 of them, depending on the size. Axton had 2 plates of 3 to 4, and then he made sure that I saved what was left for him to heat up for lunch tomorrow with his sister. And so no waste, guys. That's another thing that we try really hard in our house to do, is not waste food. That can be a challenge, especially if it's a meal that wasn't everybody's favorite. Now, had my son not liked it, I liked it well enough that I probably would have just cooked like a cup of rice in the Instapot and split it up for a couple of lunches, but I didn't end up having to do that. So it all worked out okay. But there would be my tip for today. You're gonna have to just practice, and the more you cook and the more you substitute out things or just leave them out of recipes altogether, the more you'll learn in the kitchen, and you'll know what you do or do not need to buy special for a recipe. And that's one thing I love, is I try not to buy an expensive ingredient if it's just going to go to one particular meal. Now, if it's going to be split up amongst several dinners, I might be more tempted to buy it. Like, we're not wine drinkers in my house, so I would not go buy like Cabernet Sauvignon or however you say it for a pot roast or something. But maybe if I was planning on making several meals that called for a red wine, I would buy like the little pack of 4 small bottles, and then I would have it. But if I was only going to make something one time, I would just Google what I could substitute for it, or just guess, just figure it out on my own. I've got to where now I'm not afraid to just throw stuff together based off of my own cooking knowledge and my own ideas. So the other day I just made a totally random Alfredo sauce on my own, and I thought, hey, what's the worst that can happen? I guarantee you it's going to be better than like jarred Prego or, you know, a store brand Alfredo sauce. And it was so good. It was so good. And then my family was like, you should make this every day. Like, you get tired of it if I made it every day. But also, then I was reading some recipes for Alfredo. I was like, ooh, I didn't put any butter in mine. And these say like add a stick of butter. And I was like, maybe I'll try that next time. And they're like, no, it was perfect. Don't mess it up, type of thing. But so that would be my grocery tip for today, is just learn all you can in the kitchen. And the way you learn it is by playing. That's how I would say it, playing. That's what cooking is to me. It's fun and it's playtime. And I get the biggest thrill and the biggest enjoyment out of when I plate a dinner and my family's excited to eat it. And then I am very, very high on reviews at the end. Like, I want to know what my family thinks, because if it's something that didn't work for them, I don't want to put that on a plate again. Now, with that being said, if it was absolutely my favorite thing and I loved it, they're probably going to suffer through it again at some point, because I have to have some things that I enjoy for dinner as well. But that's it for tonight, guys. I'm just out doing my nightly walk. I live in Texas. We are normally this time of year in a stretch of well over 100-degree days, and we are chilling in the evenings, and it's great. And I know today the cooler weather, and probably yesterday too, is somewhat attributed to the hurricane that came through Texas today. Now, I'm in North Texas, so we got a little bit of rain and just cooler temps. Now, I have a lot of friends down south. The place I work has locations down in Houston also, so we know people there, and we know people that have a lot of damage to their homes, a lot of flooding, loss of power with no idea when their power is going to be back. So I am thinking of them and hoping for the best for them. But here in our area, we are a hurricane evacuation route, and we could have storm damage. Like, they already sent out the FEMA things to everyone just in case, but we didn't have anything to speak of, so that was really good. And then lastly, I had a comment on my video from yesterday. It was kind of a two-part comment. Number one, they were saying what a beautiful walking path I'm on and how there's no cars and no animals and all that kind of stuff. So this is just my neighborhood that I'm walking around. This neighborhood was actually designed pretty cool in that if you do the entire neighborhood, which consists of a square plus 6 cul-de-sacs, if you do the entire neighborhood, it's a 5K. It's 3.2 miles exactly if you do the entire neighborhood. And so I enjoy walking here. There's not a lot of traffic. There's not a lot of speeding. Everybody kind of keeps up with their properties and everything, so I don't have to worry about wild animals or anything. So it's nice. Now, occasionally you will see me walk at the park. Hold on, I'm gonna let this truck go by. You'll see me walk at the park. So that is Getzendanner Park in Waxahachie, Texas. And they have a really great walking trail. It is 7.5 miles. If you do, it starts at Getzendanner, goes all the way to Lions Park, and then all the way back to Getzendanner Park. And that's a really cool walk too. So I will do that sometimes as well. And it just depends how far I go each time. I've done the entire trail though, and it's really nice. But there are mile markers every quarter of a mile. And so that's nice because you can keep up with how far you've gone, what your time is. Do I need to get turned back around? What's going on? So we are really lucky here that we have that place to walk. We've got our neighborhood to walk. And then we have, I believe the last I read was there's like 500 miles of trails in Waxahachie. And so that's a lot to explore. I haven't done it all yet. Maybe once it cools off this fall, I'll try to conquer some more of it. Got a plane going over me here. But we're lucky. And we're lucky that it's been cool enough to enjoy it some in the evening still. It will get to a point where it's so hot that I will be stuck. Either I have a treadmill in the house, but it's not in the best condition, so it sticks a little bit and stuff. It's okay. It will do. We have a rowing machine, so getting into rowing a little bit, trying to build up those arm muscles. And then I do have a gym membership, so if worse, I don't want to say if worse comes worse, I enjoy going to the gym, so we'll probably be at the gym some too. But anyways, so that answers that part of the question of like, where am I walking? And then the second part of the question, some of you already know. So why am I changing the channel name, changing everything over to a new channel when I've already got over 800 subscribers here? So I did go into detail about that on the video where I announced the change, but it all boils down basically to 2 reasons. One is a YouTube reason, that it's just getting harder and harder to get videos pushed out to people, and it ties in with if you don't have a name that makes it very obvious what your channel is about, it makes it really hard for people to find your content and to make sure they're there all the time. But the other is that YouTube didn't announce to anyone the change with the notification system and how they were going to push out videos. And so I have 815 subscribers here, but I've only got about 40 of them now that are seeing videos, and that makes it really hard. And I know I could just stick it under this name forever and just keep going and keep going and keep going. But I feel like the new name, Dinner on a Dime, is much more in line with what I want the channel to be about and how I want to help people. So, and if you hear a lot of noise, that's the cicadas. So it is cicada time here, and they get very rambunctious this time in the evening. So anyways, that is all I have for you today. So make sure you head over and like the new channel, and I will try to put out as many reminders as I can through the rest of July so that we can get as many people over there as possible. Even if I only see 14 of you a day, you know, if I reach 14 of my subscribers a day through the end of July, I've got a lot better chance of more of you getting moved over than if I only put out one advisory notice and then I just disappear off the face of the earth. So I'm already out walking. I might as well talk to you guys a little bit and I might as well give you a couple of tips and stories along the way. So again, that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow for another reminder, if I remember. All right, see you then. Bye.